Anyone who's even thought about buying a house in the past year knows prices are still crazy high. And even then, some buyers had to pay above asking price in this hot market.
Well, now we're just seeing how high those prices are stacking up kind of really all across the country. A study from Santa Monica Realtors found North Carolina saw the 5th highest housing price increase, and we're talking about in the country.
Ooh.
Now, there was a 15.7% price increase over the last year. North Carolina homes have an average price of $329,000.
But thankfully, we're not seeing anything like that right now. Remember in February last year when folks were flocking to those open houses? This one over in Raleigh, look at all the people out there. Agent Mike Carter with Keller Williams Realty says it has to do with supply.
This past December, we are up to, it was 1.4 months supply of inventory that's sold in the Triad, or that we have in the Triad, versus the year before it was 0.9 months of inventory.
He says that increased inventory has a lot to do with the season, with a lot of folks selling in the spring. There's also an increase in mortgage loan applications as interest rates are taking a dip right now.
From January 2021, it was a 1,713 closed sales. Then in 2022, it was 1,813. And right now, as of today, we're at 1,456 and counting. So if it stays going at that rate, that's going to put it at literally nearly the exact same number as we just had in 2022, which is a great sign for things still going. Obviously, our economy is still strong. There are jobs available, a lot of great job growth coming with businesses relocating, and it's an exciting time.
We're not just seeing an increase in housing prices. Rent prices are also up across the state. Advocates are calling for change, confronting corporate landlords demanding livable and affordable housing. Lexi shares just exactly what they're asking for.
It started with a knock.
Housing is a human right. We will not leave.
A knock at the door for a chance to have a place to call their own.
No accountability from the landlords.
Dozens of renters causing a commotion outside the office of corporate landlord Invitation Homes.
If we don't get it, shut it down.
Catching the attention of many people and CMPD.
The problem is growing, and if we sleep on this, it's going to be like 15 years ago, and you're going to have tons of people without housing. You're going to have an American economy that's failing.
In our area, there's a large number of homes owned by corporate landlords. Attendees say they gobble up houses, not giving first-time home buyers a chance. Many spoke about the poor living conditions at these rentals.
I talk to people who tell me they don't have reliable heat for 4 years in the same apartment.
But the biggest burden tenants face, rising rents, like South Charlotte resident Jake Lineberger.
Our rent keeps increasing lease after lease. It is unfair and unjust.
Displacing people like Jessica Moreno.
We were pushed out of Charlotte due to greedy corporations.
The housing advocates are calling for a 3% cap on rent increases and a grievance procedure. They say their requests have gone unanswered.
They're widening the wealth disparity gap in Black and Latin American communities through intentional greed, and it's absolutely unacceptable.
To fight problems renters all across the country are facing, the White House is announcing a new plan. Michael George explains how the proposal aims to help renters who are really feeling the squeeze now more than ever.
From small towns to major cities, the cost of rent is sky high, and it's taking a toll on millions of Americans.
When I first moved, I was paying about $1,300, so now I'm at $2,400.
While prices have crept down in recent months, a report by Moody's found the average renter is spending 30% or more of their income on rent. That's an all-time high. Wednesday, the Biden administration announced a plan for a non-binding Renters' Bill of Rights. It includes actions like asking the FTC and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to investigate unfair rental practices. The Justice Department will examine anti-competitive information sharing in rental markets. And HUD will look at a rule requiring public housing authorities to give tenants 30 days notice before terminating a lease due to non-payment of rent.
It's great to have the White House speak out about the importance of tenants' rights.
Seamus Roller is executive director of the National Housing Law Project, an advocacy group fighting on behalf of tenants. He calls the proposal a good beginning.
Is what the Biden administration proposing, does it have teeth? Will it actually help lower rents?
Nothing that they propose will lower rents overnight. Some of these things will have an impact over time.
Making the problem worse, many state and federal protections against evictions put in place during the pandemic are expiring.
We're not going to wait for a lawsuit to save us. We're not going to wait for incremental eviction protections to start saving us. That'd be great, but it's not coming fast enough.
Many tenants say if action isn't taken, they could be near the breaking point of losing their homes.
Maybe you don't want to rent, but you want to buy. Well, if you're looking right now, Realtor Mike Carter says there's some benefits for you.
There are more seller concessions that are coming in, though. More closing costs being offered, home warranties, things of that nature that they are getting, which is nice because that pretty much vanished in the heat of everything over the past couple of years. So it's nice for buyers not to be stuck with having so much money on the table there.